Hey everybody. In this recording I'm going to go over some of the basic functionality of creating files in AutoCAD, how you log into AutoCAD obviously, how we attach our Google Drive to it, how we access our templates, create our own versions of the templates that we can use to create new files. So first off, AutoCAD Web App link here. It goes to your AutoCAD Web App login. You'll use your login that you created, so it should be your APS email account and your own password that you set. Once you log in, you'll come to a page that's similar to this. What we're going to need to do is attach your Google Drive account. So we're going to click on this link to add storage provider. We'll click Google Drive. You will use your Google Drive APS account and you'll allow it. Okay? Once it's allowed, you'll see it here on the side here. You can also attach other providers, but we're just going to really use Google Drive here for now. I have also put a link here to the shared AutoCAD templates. It is this folder here. You already have been shared to it, only as viewers. So what we're going to need to do is make a copy of this. I'm using a personal Google Drive account here to show you how to do this. So in this personal account here, if I go to shared with me, you should have access to this folder. We're going to right click on it and we're going to add shortcut to drive and then add it to my drive, add shortcut. Okay, now it should show up here. So now what we're going to need to do is we're going to create a new folder here as well. We're going to call it engineering 1. Technically, however you want to do it, I'm just going to call it engineering 1. So now I have a folder here. What we're going to need to do is if I go into this shared folder, we're going to need to make copies of all these files. Okay, so there's 4 files in here: Imperial A, Engineering Imperial A, Engineering Imperial B, Metric, Engineering Metric A, Engineering Metric B, and then a Cougar logo. The logo's here because it's the logo's inside each of these templates. And I'll talk about the templates here in a second, but we're going to go ahead. We're going to make a copy. Okay, make a copy, make a copy, make a copy, make a copy, make a copy. They will show up in your drive. Excuse me, not shared to me. In your drive. I'm just going to move them all into here and copy. These are all copies of these files now. And they are all in here. You can rename them however you want. Right now they're copies of Engineering A. And the point here is we can use these as templates now because you have copies of them. If you want to organize this further, you can call it templates. And you can move them all into here now. The idea here is ideally in this Engineering 1 folder you created, you're going to have all your new work. But we kind of want to keep your templates separate. That way we don't get them confused. Okay? So we have this folder here. We have your templates there. What you're going to end up doing is inside the AutoCAD Web App, you're going to go access these templates now. So mind you, my access here is slightly different and I apologize, but you're going to go find your folder that you've created and then we get to our templates. Okay? So we have Engineering Imperial A.dwg, Engineering Imperial B.dwg. Yours will say copy of because you just made copies of them. Again, you can rename them. Imperial means inches. A means is an A size sheet of paper, 8.5 by 11. B size sheet of paper is 11 by 17. Metric is millimeters. Imperial is inches. So metric, inches, depending on what you're trying to do. So if I open up this template, so you'll have a copy of it that you're opening. What you're going to end up doing is you'll use this template every time you need to start a drawing. Okay. So right now it's default to saying be a Cuesta. what you end up doing, you can go ahead and rename it now, so you don't have to rename it every time, and you can just save this file. So let's do that real quick. So if I zoom in by holding the Control key and move the mouse wheel up, I should be able to zoom in, and you can double click on the text and you can edit your name. So you'll put in your name here, whatever, and then I like to abbreviate the first name and then put the last name in, and then you'll click check to add it. Okay, it goes there. Drawing title you can leave like that because it's different for everything, so we'll just leave it like that as default. And if you need to change the period, change the period. Everything else you shouldn't need to change. Zoom out now, hold the Control key and zoom out. If I hold the mouse wheel down, I can actually pan. All right, we're going to go to File, Save As. Okay, now we're going to save this new file in a folder, however you want to do it. And we'll just call it Engineering Imperial A, because that's your default template. Or, excuse me, take that back. We want to rename it whatever file you're going to be creating. So if we're going to be creating practice figure 1, we can name it practice figure 1 and hit save. And then that's the file you work in. But this file, we want to hit save so we can save your copy with your name changed. But then when you have a new file you need to create, so you're going to do practice figure 1 now. You open up this template, you go to File, Save As, and then you'll name it practice figure 1. So every time you'll open up this template, save as, name it as your next figure, and then you can start working in it. So I'm going to put it in here, practice figure 1, I'll hit save. Okay, now I'm technically in practice figure 1. Okay, see, and so now I'm in my engineering 1 folder, practice figure 1 drawing. So now I can edit. Now I'll end up creating the model how we're supposed to. We'll talk about that later. But now I have a separate document here. So that's why. So the nice thing here, now I have this separate document, practice figure 1, right here, and that's what we'll use to create new files from templates. So again, real quick, going over this again. If you're in AutoCAD, get out of here. We're going to go to your templates, copy your templates folder you created, and these are all your copies. Okay, open it. You can rename your name, hit save. Okay, rename your name, hit save. That way your template's always there and set. And then when you need to create a file, you open it again, go to File, Save As. And if we're doing practice figure 2, hit save, it shows up there. In this folder, now I have practice figure 1, and once this does save, practice figure 2 is now here. So that's why I have that templates in a separate folder. That way, so your files will end up here. This is a different Google Drive account, so it's not exactly the same, right? So your files will end up here, and then your templates are there. Okay? That way you don't keep editing your template. You can reuse it over and over again. I hope that made a lot of sense to everybody, and we're not too confused now. But it's just an easy way with these templates to reuse the template over and over again to create new drawings.